It doesn't happen. Steve Bannon is calling for conservatives to do what? Stop giving money to the Republican Party. Wow. Donor boycott is what he's calling for. Now, remember, these are the people who told black folk that boycotting was un-American. All right, let's go ahead and go to the video first. Here it is.
Okay, over the weekend we were up on Getter watching the with everything with President Trump, and we also had the great Carrie Lake, Ben Bergquam, all of it. Also, want to make sure the audience don't. I expressed them a little bit on John Fredericks today. There's a lot to talk about the RNC, so just take. I understand you guys are still worked up. Whatever you do, don't send them any money. Just take a deep breath. There's going to be a program and a plan for all of it. Just take a deep breath. But what happened in Maine and what happened in Arizona are quite important to taking back these state parties, the precinct strategy, all of it.
Let me put up the picture of the new boogeyman that Steve Bannon is afraid of. All right. Whoa. She's terrified of that white woman. Her name is, well, Ronna McDaniel. She is the chair. Okay. And this is about power. This is about individuals who refuse to say, oh yes, absolutely, the election was stolen, contrary to evidence. This is about Donald Trump and his lack of control over the national party system of the Republicans. During the podcast, Bannon appeared to express concern over the RNC re-electing Ms. McDaniel as chair on Friday. Over the weekend, Bannon also discussed McDaniel's re-election with the My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, who ran against McDaniels and Carrie Lake. So let's, this was really interesting, right? When you need that fella to validate your credibility, you are in trouble. Bannon posed the question to the My Pillow man if he accepted the 111 of 168 vote win by McDaniel. Here's what he said. There's no machines. Lindell replies. He replied saying he did accept the results. Lake, who is still refusing to accept her loss, also said she accepted McDaniel's victory. But here's the caveat, declared that she hoped McDaniel had heard the message from the grassroots, because we can't save this country unless we listen to the grassroots. Bannon, however, was less enthusiastic about the win, accusing McDaniels of having abandoned Lake in her historic fight. Now, once again, Lake is saying that she actually won. She's the victor, contrary once again to the actual facts. Meanwhile, Trump's longtime personal lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen, has weighed in on the news Monday that the Manhattan DA is presenting evidence to a grand jury regarding allegations of criminal activity on Trump's behalf regarding hush money, these payments that were made to Stormy Daniels. Here's what he told MSNBC's Nicole Wallace.
You, I think, testified, you met 14 times, right, with Alvin Bragg's office?
14.
On this 14th or 15th visit a couple weeks ago, was there evidence that there were new witnesses or new documents?
So, like the last time I was on your show, I truly would love to spill the whole meeting, the 2.5 hour plus meeting, but I won't do that out of respect to the investigation. What I will tell you, and something that I talk about in my book, Revenge, is Donald will ultimately be held accountable for this Stormy Daniel payment. And I've always said that this investigation that was to be brought by Alvin Bragg's office, previously Cy Vance Jr., is the most detrimental to him, his freedom, his livelihood, his business, etc., because it's the easiest to prove. The checks are the checks. We know a lot. There's recordings which have been released in the past. This is an easy one, unlike some of the other cases, like the Fannie Willis case in Georgia. Well, he will just come out and lie, which is what he does with impunity, and say, I truly thought that there was 17,861 votes stolen from me, so that attacks the credibility. In this specific case, the first 3-month payment was made by Donald Trump. And I gave those to the House Oversight Committee who posted them and so on. And so he's not in the same position where he can deny or lie the way that he will in some of the other matters.
Yeah, he's actually correct. Now, I have no significant love for Michael Cohen. Yes, Michael Cohen is telling the truth now that Donald Trump is racist and Donald Trump is a liar, but he worked to fix the problems of this racist, lying individual for many years. So what does that say about the soul of Mr. Cohen? But I digress. The reality is this: it is the easiest win. As a matter of fact, there's a report that just came out contextualizing the book that says, hey, we were going to arrest Donald Trump on his exit from the White House for that particular crime, because it is the most egregious and it is the easiest to prove. All right, so let's put up Michael Cohen. Remember, back in 2018, Cohen pleaded guilty for making the payments at the direction of Trump that were allegedly meant to cover up Trump's extramarital affair with Daniels during the 2016 presidential election, which violated campaign finance laws. I remember this, we talked about it a lot on television and radio. Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. He served a little more than a year. Donald Trump was listed in there. They just simply did not list his name. They left his name out, but they listed the co-conspirator as a co-conspirator. All right, Sharon, thoughts here. You think there's some there?
I think there's there. And I might say this, I have no, overwhelming love for Michael Cohen, but I do think he's working hard to overcome Stockholm syndrome. I do. Yeah. He was afflicted with this for a very long time, and now it's like, how can I make amends? But can I say this about Steve Bannon? When I listen, he's such a soiled guy. He's very soiled, And it reminded me of when I love a good mega church, but there's some that are so talented at doing dark work and getting that money. Give me that money, that you end up writing a check to the pastor's wife for her birthday. You can't even write it off. He's like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy. And this money thing, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. The RNC's in trouble.
They are in trouble. Stormy Daniels will have the last word. This is going to be still a fascinating judicial whatever it becomes.